Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into the official drone operator's code. Now, this isn't just some boring manual. Think of it as the essential playbook that really separates the pros from the amateurs. We're going to get right into the responsibilities that come with every single flight, straight from the source. All right, let's kick things off with a really basic but super important question. Is flying a drone just a game? Look, it's a ton of fun, no doubt about it. But according to the official safety regulations, the answer is a hard no. The second you pick up that controller, you're not a gamer anymore. You're a pilot, and that comes with some pretty serious responsibilities. So where does it all begin? Well, it doesn't start with the drone or the batteries or the flight plan. It starts right up here, in your head. It's all about what the manual calls the pilot's mindset. This is the absolute foundation that every safe flight is built on. Okay, so what does this awareness really mean? The manual breaks it down into three key ideas. First up, you are in charge of everything. The whole show, the flight, the safety, all of it. That rests squarely on your shoulders. Next, your decisions have to be spot on. They need to be backed up by real knowledge and actual skill, not just guesswork. And finally, the big one, the most important one. Your number one job, above all else, is to keep people safe. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. You know, that safety first rule really forces you to change how you think about flying. It's not about being some hotshot pilot who can get out of a sticky situation. It's about being smart enough to not get into that situation in the first place. And the manual puts it perfectly with this quote. True skill isn't about some heroic recovery. It's about having the wisdom to see trouble coming and just choosing a different path. And I love this part. Have the courage to cancel. Think about that. It takes real guts to have everything set up and make the call to scrub the mission. That's what a real pilot does. Okay, so you've got the right mindset. That's the why. But that's kind of useless without the how, right? So let's look at how this safety-first thinking turns into actual, concrete actions you need to take. It's kind of crazy, but the manual makes it clear that a ton of accidents happen because of one simple thing: a lack of prep. It really boils down to these three pillars. Step 1, clarify roles. Who's the pilot in command? Who's the observer? What's everyone's job? Get it straight before you start. Step 2, make sure you can communicate. How are you and your crew going to talk to each other? Figure it out. And step 3, do your homework. You need to know all the rules, check the weather, and have all your gear ready to go before you even think about taking off. And here's where things get really interesting. Your responsibility goes way beyond just the official aviation laws. Of course, you have to follow those to the letter, but it's also about, just being a good neighbor. You've got to follow what we could call airspace etiquette. This one's non-negotiable. You always give way to manned aircraft. They own the sky. You're just visiting. You also need to respect local rules, be mindful of people around you, and remember that these things can be noisy. It's all about being a good citizen of the skies. All right, we've covered the mindset and the prep work. That's the base of the pyramid. Now we're climbing to the very top, the pointy end, and that's accountability. This is where all the theory gets very, very real. The operator's mandate. That sounds heavy, right? That's because it is. This slide sums up the massive weight on your shoulders. The manual is crystal clear. From the second your drone leaves the ground until the second it's back down, you are responsible for everything. Your absolute core mission is a safe flight, which means you're always thinking about people on the ground and making sure your flight path never, ever puts them in harm's way. And just so we're clear, this isn't just about doing the right thing. If something does go wrong, we're not talking about a slap on the wrist. The consequences are real, they are serious, and they are spelled out very clearly by the law. So let's break down what those consequences look like, because the law can come at you from 3 different angles. First, there's criminal liability. This is the heavy stuff. If your drone hurts or kills someone, you could be facing charges, massive fines, or even prison time. Then there's civil liability. This is all about the money. If you cause damage, you're on the hook to pay for it. And finally, administrative consequences. This is what hits your ability to fly. Break the rules and they can suspend or even completely revoke your pilot certificate. Let's just pause on that for a second. Everything. A sudden gust of wind, your responsibility. A faulty battery, your responsibility. Some totally unforeseen glitch, yep, still on you. There are no excuses. The buck stops with the operator, every single time. The accountability is total. And that brings us right back to where we started. The whole point of all these guidelines, all these rules, it's not so you can memorize them for a test. It's so you can look at this question right now and answer it with an honest-to-goodness yes before every single flight. If you can do that, you're ready. If there's any hesitation, you're not. That right there is the heart of the drone operator's code.